Hey everyone. Yeah, let me know if the sound has any issues, and I'll try and correct it as quickly as possible. But um, I think we've got it sorted out, so hopefully that's all right. Okay, so yeah, I figured I'm just gonna do some work on DevKafe, which is the startup that I talked about in my last video, and just come hang out. We're gonna work on it, or I'm gonna work on it. You can watch, or you can work on your own thing. Do whatever you want. And yeah, like really, what I want to kind of do today is we're gonna about an hour here. So at 5 o'clock Eastern time, that's when we're gonna call it. Around then, maybe a little bit after. But for the next, I don't know, 15 minutes to an hour, hour 10, we'll work on it. So I ended up deciding back here in this thing here, I was gonna use Firestore, and I started playing around with Neon, which is here. Let me just go to the homepage, neon.tech. Oh, okay. Well, if you go to the homepage, it redirects you to your console that you're logged in as. So can't actually show you the homepage, unfortunately. But if you go over there, it appears that I don't know. Like I've been really liking it, and also it's quite similar to the dashboard or the console for Supabase, which I thought was pretty interesting because one of the things that I really really liked about Supabase was the console and the way that you were able to interact with the database. And it seems like Neon provides a similar experience. They might not have like uh, whatever it's called, live, like real time out of the box. And because it's serverless, maybe you wouldn't even. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really matter, but um, you know, I don't know. I at least like the console. I think the console's nice, and I think it's there's some promise here. So anyway, I figured we'd kind of go and work on it a little bit. So let's start off with defining our database here. I'm going to use Prisma. I don't know if it's the best option to use Prisma, but I've used it and I know how to use it and I like it. Um, Also, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, so I'm going to build this with, I don't know, I'm really torn. Like, I know Next.js. I think there's a spider on my ceiling and it's really freaking me out. I know Next.js. Yeah, cool. All right, sound is still good. I've had so many problems with sound that I'm just like really paranoid about it. I know Next.js. I'm working on some other stuff with Next.js, but everyone hates on Next.js. And I really have enjoyed using Astro in the time that I've been using it. And I've heard really good things about Remix. So I think the move is to still build this with Next.js because that's what I know and I'll be able to get something out there pretty quickly. And then maybe checking out Remix and Astro a little bit more. So yeah, I think that's the move. I think that's the way to go about it. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any thoughts on that, if any of you guys that are watching this have actually used either of those two things, like let me know in the chat here or in the comments after the stream's over. Like let me know if you've used either of those three, or even something else, like maybe like a Nuxt, something else. But I think SEO is going to be pretty important. That's why I wanted to use like server-side rendering. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go over here and let's start defining stuff kind of based on. Let's get. Did I just. What just happened? Wait. Let's this down there. Okay, that's what happened. Got it. Feel kind of dumb. All right, cool. That's what I wanted to do. Let's go over. Cool. Let's do that. Let's add some stuff here. So first name, bio, birth date. This would be a date time. It'll default to now. Oops. Like I don't know if you guys remember this. I was mentioning this in one of my other videos. I think it was actually my last video. Having this microphone, like right in front of me, actually really like just messes up my ability to type. But I don't know, I think it's all right. GitHub URL string there. That's optional. Why don't we just do more of these here? LinkedIn URL. Is it more common on the GitHub side to use like a GitHub username? It might be, right? Like, what's my... How would my profile? Oh, you would, wouldn't you? All right, let's do that then. Let's do GitHub username. Okay. Twitter username. Agree to terms. Let's say agree to privacy. And these are booleans. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. There we go. Okay, let's do model. User 2. I'm going to need to go and actually look at this. User 2 recipe. I don't want that. I want straight up docs. I never have this stuff memorized, despite actually doing it every day. Where are data model? Oh, didn't want that. I want a data model. One to many. Sorry, I want user to recipe is a many to many, right? Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be implicit. Sorry, it's going to be explicit rather. I lied. It's going to be implicit. No, it's not. These are not the docs I remember seeing. Maybe it was explicit. Oh, here we go. Sorry. It was explicit. And then what else do we have? Let's just define all of our tables here. We have recipe. And then we have recipe to step. I think it should be step to recipe. And then we'll have step. Cool. interesting. Oh, that's weird. Let's get this here. Wait. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's kind of weird, but okay. I guess subtitle should be optional, right? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then details. So we'll do that. Alright, now this is kind of where we need to be here. So on this, I'm just going to copy this actually. User. This is whoops, user ID. Whoops, user string, and it will reference that. This will be a recipe. And whoops. And now it's complaining because we don't have these things here. So we'll have a recipes will be user to recipe. And then we'll have authors will be as well a user to recipe. Why is this complaining? Oh, I need this down here. Has to have an ID. The ID will be a composite ID between these two things, which is what I had in my data model, that this was going to be a composite ID. Okay, no problem. Cool. Here's what I'm not sure about. Should this have a column on here for the role? And the reason that would be interesting is because potentially then you could have collaborators on the recipe with you, or maybe someone is an author but ultimately someone else is the owner. Like let's say you want to allow for people to have like companies, so you could create a company, for example Apple, and Apple wants to create a recipe that they own, but that ultimately employees are authors of. So I think that kind of makes sense. And what we'll do, I'll create a role. And let's have some enums. Oh, first, actually, let me take that back. Let me first do this similar stuff, but for the step to recipe. So this is going to be recipe. Oh, wait, hold on. We already have recipe ID. Let's do this. Let's have step. And then let's have step ID. Whoops. And then we'll do that. And then we'll have step ID. And now this is complaining because here we need steps. We need steps, so we'll have, what is it, step to recipe. And then here we'll have, oh, this is also a one-to-many, by the way. I forgot about that, overlooked a little bit. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. We actually therefore don't need this, it seems. And then this will be step. And then here, well, actually, wait, we can just copy this. We're basically going to do what we did before. So this will be recipe and recipe ID. And what is the, oh, string. Okay, there you go. Okay, now what we wanted to do was, one, I want to add order. This will be an int. And then we're going to have an enum. I think it's just, oh, that's not what I wanted. I think it's just enum. You can define enums in your data monolith. Yeah, cool. When to use database enums. Kind of a question I have. When to use an enum or a small table in a relational database. Yeah, this is the question here. We're going to use an enum. Enum. And this will be author role. Okay. So we'll have author, or we'll have owner, author. And I think that can be it for right now. Maybe in the future we might have something like editor or reviewer or something of that nature, right? So let's do that here. Let's add user to recipe. Let's add a role. This will be this. And let's send that up. Yes, I realize I didn't do a migration. But we don't really have anything to lose right now, so I don't really think it matters. Cool. Now we've got over in Neon everything here. So this is pretty sweet. I'm on the free tier, so hopefully it doesn't get deleted. Someone message something in the chat? It says that someone messaged something in the chat, but, or maybe not. I don't actually see anything though, so I'm not really sure, to be honest. Nope. Stop. Anyway, yeah, cool. Okay. So now that we have that, do I actually have anything at the domain name? DevKafe.com. I do not. It's just parked. Okay. And then here, app hosting. So it's weird. Like at some point, I obviously did something here. Actually, oh, I never connected them. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm kind of curious where everyone is from watching. If anyone's comfortable with letting me know. It says we have 6 people watching right now. Kind of curious who's or it says we have 8 actually. So who is watching and where are you guys from? I'd love to hear. Yeah, okay, cool. So the question, I guess, right now is, do I want to use, for hosting, there's Firebase, and that's fine. But one, app hosting is in preview. It's not even in production. It's not like generally available. 2, I don't actually know if it supports anything other than Next.js and Angular. Sorry, Firebase app hosting. Hi, hey, how's it going? FCGBN. Yeah, how are you? Welcome. Like, it specifically calls out Next.js and Angular. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. So I'm not really sure. Where are you from? In the chat. Monetization plan. Where does this take me? Oh. Create an app hosting backend. Algeria. Wow, that's so cool. How, where is Algeria? Like, I know where Algeria is, but like, what time is it there? Algeria time. Okay, you're 5 hours ahead of me. Cool. Nice. That's awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining. That's pretty awesome. The other option, time. This is a timed thing. Oh, never mind. It's not time. It's just how much they estimate it'll take me to finish it at this point. Is this your first startup? Nope, it is not. Done a bunch. But it's the first one that I'm like showcasing on YouTube and showing, you know, the entire building process and everything of that nature that I've never done before. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. I think it'll be a really interesting journey, and I'm excited to share it and hopefully build something cool that we can all use that is like interesting and helpful. I don't know. I think maybe I'll just use Vercel for right now, because that way, like, I know I can just toss up another framework because they support a bunch of them. So Vercel. Actually, I don't know if I want to show what's going to be here just yet. Let me just create a new project. That should be okay. Actually, no, hold on a second. Let's import this one here. I feel like I already did this though. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Let's do deploy. I think it is, yeah. Okay, let's see how this goes. So I still do need to integrate Firebase with Next.js. And I'll follow this. We can go through this. I was also going to potentially toss up like the boilerplate code as like a template and maybe sell it or something like that as like any advice for me as a second year CS student. What are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? Like, do you have any idea of, you know, do you want to be in the startup world? Do you want to have a career working at like a big tech company? What kind of things are you interested in working on? Like, do you have any idea of that yet? In life and in the field. So for what it's worth, the chat, or like what I say is like, I don't know, I think there's like a 30 to 60 second delay from when I say it to when you guys see it. Hold on a second. Give me 1 sec. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I want to. Okay. Like a startup though, or like freelance? Like, do you want to? Yeah, do you want to be like a freelancer working for yourself, but on other people's projects, and then maybe create like an agency where you have a team that works on stuff for you? Or do you, let's say, starting a startup? Okay. So in that case, I think two really big things are kind of important. One, networking. Meet as many people as possible because, one, being a founder is lonely, frankly. That's like a reality that I think a lot of people don't like to talk about or just don't talk about. It can be quite lonely. And it will be very, very beneficial for you to have a co-founder as well. And in that case, you'll want to have a lot of people that you know and meet as many people who can either be your co-founder or can help you network further and meet other people that could be your co-founder. Because one, it will be less lonely in your startup if you have a co-founder. And two, you will be able to accomplish more. And realistically, you probably don't want to be wearing all of the hats that you need to wear in a startup. It's quite difficult. So I would say that's a pretty big one. The other thing as well is learn as much as you can about the different aspects of a startup. So sure, you're a CS student, and that's awesome. So you'll learn how to code. You'll learn some computer fundamentals and architectures and things like that, and that's pretty cool. Very important, useful. But you might find that you want to be on the tech side. You might also find that you don't want to be on the tech side. And it will be very beneficial for you to learn about the different aspects of it so that you know which side or where exactly you want to fit in. So in my case, I had spent 6 years as a software engineer professionally working at other companies, thinking that I wanted to be a software engineer and be on the tech side. And then it was only recently, like within the past, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, 9 months even maybe, that I kind of realized I can code, but I'm really more interested in the business side, like the vision side, the strategy side. And so that was a really big paradigm shift. And I had to then go and like read some books and learn about stuff that I frankly didn't really expect to have to go and learn about and do. And I've really been enjoying it, and it's been a lot of fun. I just wasn't really expecting that. And so I think that the faster you can kind of realize that and see which side you're more passionate about and which maybe comes more naturally to you, I think will be of great benefit. Yeah, I think I would go do that. And then generally speaking, I think that a lot of people, when they want to create a startup, they focus too much on like the solution. They think, oh, well, I have this problem and that means everyone has this problem. And so I'm going to build this solution and then like everyone's going to use it because it's mine and it's awesome. And the reality is that it doesn't really work that way. You need to instead focus on the problem that you're trying to solve and relentlessly try and solve that problem, but focus on the problem, not the solution. Don't fall in love with the problem, not the solution, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, my dogs are like increasingly getting more and more annoying. So I think that means that they want to go do something, but we still have work to do here, so we're going to get back into it. Yeah, did this work? Oh, it did. Nice. Let's go to the dashboard here. Check out, cool, we've got that. Let me go to YouTube. I'm going to come over here. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I want to go over here. And I want Squarespace. Hold on. Do I have to log in again? I feel like I've been logged in. Oh. I want to go and set this up with a domain here. So let me just do that real quick. I don't know like how sensitive this information is, so I'm going to do it on my other screen here. Google domain. What? Are they all like this? What about this one here? That's so weird. What? How is that even possible? Google domains. It does not say Squarespace. Anyway, I don't know. Let's go and get this stuff here. Let's go and add devkafe.com. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do. Okay. Cool. Whoa. And then okay. You know what? I'm not going to show this because I don't actually know if I can or not, like if how sensitive it is, but I will say that like Vercel makes things extremely easy. I definitely appreciate the ease with which things can be configured and set up, you know? Yeah, like I really, really appreciate that. Hey, you're good. No, I appreciate the question. It's a good question. It's an important question. I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with, so hopefully I was able to help. Vibu? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize if I'm not. But welcome. Hello. Hi. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from? Also, good news. Project. Let's go back here. Oh, place out. Good news. I think this still does not work. Okay. Oh, does not work. Weird. Okay, I don't know. That's not what I wanted. Dev. I don't know. Maybe it just has to get updated or something. We'll see. But it says that it's working. www.devkafe.com. So that's cool. Computer science third year student from India. Nice. Cool. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. All right. Okay. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I don't want to do this all in the same branch. I think we have neon set up. That's cool. Harvey, I need you to not. Please. Please, 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 please. I love you too. I know. You can see my dog there in the corner. That's funny. Let's see. Let's get this. Let's see where we're at here. Let's get. I don't want. Where's my get ignore? I do not want my .env file. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want that there. Okay, good. And then, whoa. Let's do status. Okay, cool. Let's commit this and we shall say add. Just starting my coding journey, I mostly focus on data science. Is that what that is? Is that what DSA is? Oh, DNS. You want to build your own DNS server. Why do you want to do that? Is it just like something that you're interested in, or are you trying to? Do you have like some goal or something that you're trying to accomplish there? Some problem you're trying to solve, maybe. What do you think about internships and how to get one? Internships are great. I never had an internship. but I think internships can be really great. Actually, I didn't study computer science in college. I studied advertising. So I had an internship for advertising, and that was great. Um, I think that you can potentially learn a lot from them, but nothing is guaranteed, because everything is different. Every person is different. Every company is different. Every role is different. But nevertheless, I think they can be really good. How to get one? Um, so in my case, I I think I knew someone at this ad agency, and so they were able to like get me an interview. But I still had to sell them on why they should bring me in as an intern. And from what I recall, it basically just came down to like being a good person, coming off as someone that they would want to work with, and just demonstrating that I was passionate about that field. And I think that advice still would carry over for computer science. I don't think that that is only limited to advertising in my case. I think that's actually relevant to, I don't know about every, but certainly most fields out there. Is like, if you come off as a person who people want to work with, so you're nice, you're respectful, but you're fun, and you're nice to have around, and then you demonstrate that you're passionate about the field, and also demonstrate that you're resourceful and that like you're smart, like showcase your intelligence. I think those are really great ways to put yourself in a position where you're more likely to get an opportunity. Well, networking is going to be the key to everything. Um, like the expression, it's not who you know, it's how you know them. And I think that like life is about relationships with people, because everything we do is either with people or for people. And so with that, I think that there is, there's, I think there's like proof in that networking is going to be the case no matter what. But beyond the networking, it's, show that you're someone that is good to have around. Demonstrate how passionate you are about the field. Demonstrate your intelligence. Like, make sure that you're able to showcase that in some way, whether it be the way that you're able to converse, or if they ask you to solve a challenge for them live, like whatever it is, just try and demonstrate that intelligence and that resourcefulness in some way. Like, tell them a story about some problem you had and how you went and solved it, right? Kind of turn off your mic. Is it not loud? So, yeah, on the mic thing, um, my mic is actually it's actually pretty like high up. I don't want to like. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's good. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, it's not. I'm sorry. Here, why don't I'll turn it up a little bit, and we'll see where it goes, where it takes us. Uh, is this better? How does that feel? I turned it up a little bit. I will say, like, I don't know. YouTube is, I guess, good. I mean, the live is free, and it you guys seem to be able to follow along, so I think that's good. Um, there's a huge delay though, so I don't know. Maybe YouTube is having some issues. I mean, like, even on my OBS thing, the just do you, bro. Yeah, fair enough. Appreciate it. Um, my OBS thing, it's like all the way up, and I didn't want to, like, it's almost at the red, and I didn't want to, like, anyway, I don't know. Data structures and algorithms. Oh, okay. Hopefully I answered your question on the internships thing. Data structures and algorithms. Is that, you said you were focusing on that? Is that what that was? India, my focus. Yeah. Um, how much latency? I would say like upwards of a minute from what I'm seeing. 30 to 60 seconds, I would say. That's a lot, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, I think that's kind of a lot. Data structures and algorithms. There's a really good book actually. This is what I use to learn. A no nonsense guide to data structures and algorithms. I think it was this. I believe this is the book that I read to learn about data structures and algorithms. Oh, A Common Sense Guide to Data Structures and Algorithms. I should start using my affiliate links, I think. That's what I use though. Is Node.js scalable? How many? Yeah, Node.js is fine. There are companies that use Node.js a lot. How many users are you planning to support? I don't know. I think it'd be great if it could grow into a legit community, or a website that's supporting in the tens of thousands of users. But here's the thing. I'm not using Express, not right now, no. Here's the thing about startups, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't really get. You build for today, not for tomorrow. Now, in saying that, does that mean that we should build something that can only handle 10 users at a time? No, of course not. However, do you recommend using MongoDB? Oh wow, you're opening up like a massive can of worms. That's such a big rabbit hole. No, hold on. We'll get to the MongoDB thing in a second here. So basically, the thing about startups that people don't understand is you want to build for today, not tomorrow. And the reason is because you don't know what your problems are going to be tomorrow. So if you build some massive, highly scalable thing that can handle 1 million users, but you only have, let's say, 100 users, you've then spent a ton of time architecting and designing and building for a problem that you don't have, when you could have been doing working on features that will actually provide more value to your users. And so that's why you want to focus on delivering value to users and put out fires. Startups in JavaScript is overdone. What do you mean? Don't do a web app. Build anything but this. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where you're coming from with that. Don't build a web app thing. I don't know what you're talking about. No one is going to use an app for finding problems. It's not so much that a web app is better than an app. It's just that they offer different things, and it's really just depending on the situation is what I would say. Oh, MongoDB though. Someone, and by the way, what's CA and DD? Royer Griero? I really apologize if I mess that up. But what is CA and DDD? You were asking about? So, do I recommend using MongoDB? If you're going to think about using MongoDB, you can also think about using Firestore. Really, the difference between the two is the pricing structure. One is like a serverless pay by usage, and the other one you can have an instance. Although MongoDB with Atlas, you can also have Atlas like MongoDB serverless, and they use a similar pricing structure. Although I think it's cheaper still than Firestore. But I think that like people start out, and I was like this. I started out using Firestore originally, for a different project, not this one. And Sri Lanka. Oh, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Um, but the thing is that NoSQL is like really great when you first start out because you don't know what your requirements are. You might not know what the data model should look like, and you can kind of just like play around and move really quickly, and that's awesome. But as you start to learn more about what the data model should look like, you start to need to add structure because structure can help when the rules of the game are well defined. And once that happens, from what I've read and also experienced, it's great to put the data in, but when you want to like when you want to migrate to a different data model of sorts with NoSQL, then it can become a real pain in the butt. And so with that, domain driven development. Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Startups are not counterintuitive. I don't know what you're talking about. Please explain. If you're like, okay, like I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's like walk us through why startups are counterintuitive. You come up with startup ideas. Sorry, on the MongoDB thing, I would say like only use it if you really just want to like mess around. Try and use SQL because I think it's better as like a general purpose thing, and I think that ultimately in the long term the constraints that are applied to you by way of a data model and the forced implementation or the forced usage of such a data model and structure by the database, I think is beneficial in the long run. And by the way, like data is not something that you want to mess up. So like to have a button that should be on the right side of the screen versus the left side of the screen or at the top of the page, bottom of the page, like you can change that really easily. Data is way harder to change. And so, you want to get that one right from the get-go. Clean architecture and domain-driven development. I think those will be things that, like, as time goes on, I start to really refactor and apply better standards and patterns to the project. But I think what we're going to see is that it's going to be pretty ugly because, and this is true for many startups, is that, like, the code initially is quite ugly because the focus is on getting product out, so shipping product and delivering value rather than like code quality. It's all about speed, and sometimes code quality is a corner that you cut as a result. I appreciate the help in wanting to make sure that I succeed. I am definitely still curious as to why you think that startups are counterintuitive, and also why I shouldn't be building a web app. That is an interesting one. Security is ensured from day one by following best practices and using the tools at your disposal. So, for example, Firebase has a product called Firebase Auth. So I'm going to use that. And they have a number of pieces to the puzzle there that can help provide security. Startup ideas. You come up with startup ideas by thinking about problems. So like, that is it in a nutshell, is like, think about all of the problems in your life. Every time that you go and do something, verbally out loud say to yourself, this is what I'm doing. And if it's frustrating, verbally out loud say, this is why it's frustrating. And that's a problem right there that maybe you could solve by way of a startup. It's that simple. Like everything you do in your life on a daily basis, go and point it out to yourself. Like make a conscious effort of pointing it out to yourself. And over time, you will come up with a list of problems that like maybe one of them could be solved if you were to build some product or some app or some website, and then you could turn it into a startup. That's pretty much how problems are solved, or startup ideas are come up with. Hidden tech, bro, what? I don't know. Hey, were you? Yes, actually, necessity is the mother of invention. Well done. What is the problem DevKafe solved? DevKafe is going to be a cookbook for developers. So basically, I've seen a lot of websites, there are a lot of books like this. There are websites like this. There are articles that I see posted. There are even like documentation pages that I see like thrown up. Like for example, here, like let's look at Flutter. Flutter, this one here. Well, not this exact page, but just this. Go to they have a cookbook somewhere here. Cookbook. So this is Flutter's cookbook, and they have just some recipes for some common problems, like creating a download button, let's say, and they kind of walk you through it. And there are also other things like this. There are literal books that people have written called, you know, the Golang cookbook or the Flutter cookbook or whatever it is. And as a result of that, I kind of thought, well, like maybe there could be some sort of a community website or app that's built that provides anyone and everyone, whatever, provides everyone the ability to create a recipe for something that they're trying to do. And I think it's interesting because there's oftentimes, many times, more than one way to accomplish the same outcome. And so I think it could be kind of cool if we provide a way for people to create their own recipes, if you will, of accomplishing certain things. So for example, whoever it was that was looking for a DNS, to build a DNS server, like I'm sure you're going to be learning a lot where you could have some recipes on doing different things with like DNS, right? Or in this case, like React or Next.js or whatever it is, or someone was asking about security. There's some recipes that I could create, or you could create, whatever, on the platform to showcase how you accomplish certain things to make sure that a website or an app is secure. And I think the possibilities are really endless. And I think having like a purpose-built tool would be kind of cool. Obviously, you could just have like a blog post or something like that, but I think that's less fun. And Stack Overflow, arguably, that could just be a blog and then people could comment on it. But like, it's a purpose-built thing to showcase the question, or to show the question or present the question in a certain way to make it more accessible for people who want to help. And so that's kind of where this sort of comes from. Yeah, the Flutter one. Thanks, Tom. The Flutter one is a really good one. That's actually where I got the idea from. I had the idea for a while. So yeah. I don't know what the monetization structure is just yet. I think there could be like room for wait, what does Medium do? Medium does this. What do they do exactly? Technically, it would be, yeah, I mean, you can make the argument that it's a hobby project right now, but that's not a cool title. I do think that I have a distribution model, and the distribution model is that I have a YouTube channel that has a lot of people subscribe to it, and I was going to promote it through there, mostly because they are, oh, yeah, gotcha. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I was gonna promote it through like social media, through my YouTube channel, through doing stuff like this, and yeah. So there, a lot of startups do spread through social media, or have some sort of integration with social media that allows that to further spread, or something like that. So yeah, and I think that the business model there is potentially doing something where there's like a premium tier for people to get more features. So If it's a startup, no, you need to think about delivering value. That's the first thing, not distribution. You think about delivering value. I mean, there's only so many distribution channels out there, so it's not like you might have a unique way of using them, but it's not. You're probably not going to be inventing a new one that someone's never thought of before. You're inventing a startup and a product that someone's never thought of before, or not implemented correctly. I think focusing on solving a problem for people and delivering value is by far the most important thing. Yeah, so I think there's room for maybe a premium tier of some kind, and maybe that premium tier comes with additional features. Not entirely sure what those features would be yet, but I want to see how people use it first before saying, hey, this is what I'm going to charge you for, because I don't know exactly. Also, there's you can also put ads on it in some way, so that's another option. And then there's also an enterprise model. So for example, let me see if this Stack Overflow Enterprise. I don't know if this still exists. Oh, here you go, where they have teams and stuff. So I believe Stack Overflow will allow you to have a private directory of the questions, of the questions and errors and problems. Yeah, your own private space here hosted, right? And so that can be specific to your company, and that's I think the biggest way, or one of the ways that they make money. And then they also have this Overflow AI, which is this new thing for enterprise. So that's an interesting one. There's also Stack Share, which I don't exactly know. Can we just take an opportunity to appreciate how slow this website is? I mean, I don't know how this is possible. It's been slow since they were created, and I just don't get it. But anyway, they recently, there used to be a post about this, but they recently joined forces or were acquired by some organization. And so I don't know if they still have anything about what their business model is or was, but I think they did something similar, maybe. And then there's also, do you guys use Dev2? Or have you heard of it, Dev Together? So they actually just released Dev++, which I think is an awesome name for a premium tier. But they just released Dev++, which I think is $8 a month. You get some exclusive stuff, one of which is Neon, so that's kind of cool, which I'm using Neon for Postgres for this project actually, but I didn't pay for this Dev++ thing. And then I think you get some unlocked special features that help you focus on what matters and succeed within your community. I don't know, let's see what these features are. For Dev++, we're adding a setting that allows you to define which content should serve as in your feed. Okay, that's cool. To foster human-to-human connection, Dev++ members are less likely to be marked as spam. All right, so you can pay to stay on, basically. You get a Dev++ badge. All right, that's fine. Yeah, $8 a month, even as we continue to add new offers. So yeah, I think there's a couple different avenues that I can go down here when it comes to making money. And distribution, I think, can be done largely through the YouTube channel that I have, which has, I think a healthy amount of subscribers, and I'm trying to, who has this problem? Well, people trying to learn how to do new things probably have this problem. So it's a bit tough for me because I work from home. So no, I have not witnessed anyone having this problem. What I have witnessed is that a lot of big websites or pieces of documentation for frameworks have cookbooks on there. They also have a lot of books that have been written and sold with this concept. And so I think that this is something that probably is different though. I don't know what you're talking about. How is it different? Isn't that didn't I just describe what you're asking? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, all right, call this like a prototype then, or like MVP or something like that. I don't know. Well, I kind of just want something cool to like work on and build that can maybe be interesting, and we'll see where it goes. It's I would say more of like a solopreneur, like indie entrepreneur idea, rather than like um, something I expect to be like invested in by like an institutional investor. All right, let's add data model in Prisma. Cool. Yeah, BZOA. I don't know if that guy is still here, but I think he was right. When you're more sensitive to the world around you, I think it becomes um, a lot easier to come up with ideas. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the chat. I'm kind of a slow reader, so. CI, like in terms of deployment, um, yeah, I believe that is set up. It goes to, I have to, where's GitHub? Did I lose GitHub for this? I definitely had a GitHub page open for this. We can use this one here. Profile. DevKafe. Yeah, cool. Here's GitHub. Let's get this one in there. See if this works. I don't have any tests. Like, this is really a brand new project, so I don't have any tests or anything. That'll be something interesting to kind of set up. Yeah, that should now kind of do its thing. We should get a deployment here going. We do. Cool. Production. Yeah, we'll see what that does there for us. What mistake did I make with Lifer? Oh. Okay, that was an accident. Oh. That worked. Alright, cool. Let's also just make sure here that we have. Cool, and then. Yeah, I don't know why this one. It's really weird. I'm not really sure what's going on there. That's kind of weird. Well, I know one's www and the other one's not. That I understand. If none FVN JNJN is still here, I was curious what mistake were you talking about with Lifer? Did Lifer succeed? Yeah, www is a subdomain. Yes, that's correct. I don't know. I followed what it told me to do, and so I don't really know why it's doing that. I've had like other sites set up that have had the same configuration and they've worked. So Lifer is currently succeeding. I don't really know what I've shared about Lifer on this. Oh, Lifer was like when I was doing the vlogs, right? Like a startup vlog. Is that what it was? I don't remember exactly what I did and did not share about Lifer. But Lifer is currently succeeding. Yes. Yeah. All right. It is almost 5:30 p.m. where I am, and I have meeting some people for dinner. So I do appreciate everyone who joined. And I think I'm going to try and I might not be able to do this tomorrow because I think I have to do some errands in the afternoon. But yeah, Friday, I plan on kind of making this somewhat of like a regular thing. And so hopefully if you guys are interested and this is still interesting, you can join me and come along for the ride. I'll share as much as possible. So next stream I think will be Friday, probably. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Let me check the schedule. Let's see. Yeah, I think it'll be Friday. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.